There's a guy. There's a guy named Justice Miller. That's a pretty. That's like
Alright.
the one I'm stuck on because it's kind of like this. Okay, no, Todd Pang. So Todd Pang and Justice Miller are really stupid sounding names. This poor man, and it also yeah, Todd.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. If you are watching my stream on Twitch or YouTube, you do have to refresh the stream.
There's a guy named Margit. Margit, as in like the guy from Elden Ring. That's an actual name? I didn't know that. Oh, Ronnie's a real name too, though, and so is Millennia. Never mind. I'm just tripping. Jeff Everso. His name is fucking Jeff. Like I forget how I saw this one short about that. It's like, your name is Jeff.
Yeah,
How could you? Yeah. How could you sing praise of that name in songs to come? It's such a weak name, like a weak nut. Like Jeff. I thought that guy's name was Doofenshmirtz. Christian Doofenshmirtz. Miss McCuskey? Mason McCuskey. I'm just looking at the. I'm just trying. Oh, the Phoenix
You're
Stone
silly.
sounds pretty cool.
What? What?
There's three Michaels.
There's probably quite a few.
Yeah. Probably a few, yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. I believe that this is still considered the same stream. So yeah, unfortunately, due to YouTube blocking ad blockers, I cannot watch on YouTube anymore.
There's a guy named Attic Chan, and my brain immediately went to like Chris Chan's brother, and I'm like, my brain is stupid.
I'm sorry.
His last name is Chan.
I will start. Cool. I changed it to vanilla mode. I will stop using ad blockers once YouTube actually stops prioritizing profit, their own personal profit, and actually give more to their creators. Not to mention actually listening to their creators. Not being the pile of junk that they are.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you know my announcement video got stolen?
What? It did? How?
So somebody basically downloaded my video, attached their own AI voice to it, but used all the recording and whatnot for it. They just removed my voice. It's something that's becoming a lot more prevalent on YouTube these days, especially from smaller creators and also larger creators too. You'll have an AI channel looking for content and steal it directly from your account, say it's a spoof, and then be like, well, yeah, this is a spoof of this particular video. No, it's not.
I've never... Do you think there's any spoofs of mine?
There might be. So there's a little thing that I shared in... What? There's a little thing I shared in the announcements. I recommend go watch that video by Kyle Hill. And it actually talks about what some creators are banding up together to actually do to protect our created content.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've noticed how bombarded YouTube's algorithm has become with these AI-generated channels. Ah, shit.
A random friend request on Discord again. What is that Sakura? She did it again? What does Sakura want? I think... Is that Sakura's one of the ones who... I think she is, at least. I remember something like that. I think she's one of the ones who tried to scam me. She's still trying to contact me.
Oh, jeez.
Mm.
Yeah, and about getting my old account back, that's never gonna happen. Discord's closed the case, so.
Yeah. I was
Oh well.
supposed to be looking for funny names, although it turned into a interesting tourist. That's just a name I can't even like pronounce. McManus. Dude, Michael McManus sounds like like you take yeah. It sounds like one of those names. Is like, hey, I'm a fucking Chad, and I'm based, and I'm a alpha, and I call ladies females, and I'm like, okay, well, good on announcing that, because now I know you are completely the opposite of all of that. I think actually, like, what I've learned when it comes to that specific part of the quote unquote manosphere,
Yeah.
it all stems from people who have had terrible situations with women to a point where they decide that they hate them so much that they want to remove them from the species and just call them the females rather than women. And I say, like, that's kind of cringe.
That's
Like,
kind of rude, honestly.
yeah, it's like oh, like, it's one of the things is like people like to blanket uh a description to people, like stereotypes, and it's like, you want to know why the ladies that you've been dealing with are fucking assholes to you? It's because you're going for the ones who tend to be assholes.
Yeah.
There's this thing called nuance, man. And nuance has this thing where sometimes there is a lady who wants to take on taking care of you,
Yeah.
and sometimes there is a lady who wants to be taken care of.
Yes.
There is nuance to that. Like, I know I'm one of the guys who tends to want to be taken care of, but I'm gonna clean the house. I'm gonna cook the food. I'm gonna be doing all that stuff just so I don't have to go to work.
I kind of wish sometimes that I got to. I kind of wish it was more 50-50, but, such is the situation, I guess.
Yeah. You're one of those people that want to do 50-50, which is very commendable as well, because I guess, like, you also have this thing where money is tight, especially in this day
Yeah.
and age. I know if I were to have somebody take care of me, they would have to have a really good job, and usually those people would rather take care of somebody much younger than
Yeah.
them. So, yeah. I'm 30, man. I can't be having somebody take care of me because I just am not cute enough. But legitimately, that's the 30-year-old lady who wants to keep you as their forever child, so they're gonna want you to be like 20 or just turned 18 or something, which is
Yeah.
a valid relationship. I'm not gonna knock it.
Ow.
I'm not gonna knock any type of relationship, honestly, as long as it's not something like dangerous. I
Yeah.
know, like something dangerous is not good.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
something traumatizing. Although I've heard some ladies, some people are actually like aggressive lovers as long as they're able to keep it civil. As long as they're like nice to them in public and not like like abusive all the time. When in private time, I hear some people do like a really hard spanking. So there's that. Didn't they have a Florian? Florian. She sounds like a decoupler. Sounds like a Florian name. Oh, that's cool, dude. I saw that and I was like, yes.
See, I'm back on the server, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
These are really really long. This
Credits.
is a really long credits.
Yeah.
I usually stay for the credits though, so I'm just gonna chill here talking shit about these people's names. I do that all the time. It's been a long time since I've seen credits though. I have not seen Warframe's credits. Oh, someone named Megan Dumford. Eh, it's the dumb Megan. Audio director is Samuel Alberg. Nice.
Not Samuel L.
Good to meet you.
Jackson.
Yeah, Samuel Alberg. Quality assessment specialist. Quality.
What?
Mm. Oh, there's only 6 of them. That's what the issue is.
Well, a lot of them, a lot of Minecraft songs aren't actually made by the sound engineers. They hire
Nice.
out, and I gotta go change some of these diapers. So once I load into our world, I will be RB.
Yeah. I should also spin my mouse just because my
Hi.
computer might go to sleep.
You haven't turned off the mouse thing, or you haven't turned off the auto sleep. Because there's the desktop,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think it is. I'm gonna have to do this at some point.
So
I'm considering doing it today.
I am gonna put a little note over here. Before stream, we did actually build a home-based end portal.
Ooh,
Yes. Well, you already knew this. You were with me when I built
I
it.
know. I know. I gotta play the part.
But yeah, now it's just easier to go to the end. Don't have to go through the strongholds, though keep in mind we will have to rebattle the end dragon, which I think would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, melee is a lot more effective than you would think.
Yeah.
Does more damage over time, and it's easier to hit him. You just gotta hit the footsies.
No, it's the same one.
Yeah. Apparently, the part you have to hit is straight up the feet.
Any part of it you can hit.
Yeah. Player care. Director of player care is this person. Player support program, director, lead, pedestrian. Oh, Pedersen. Okay.
Alright.
Melissa
For those of you
Kiss.
watching,
Oh,
I'm also
no.
going to go on the credit roll and BRB.
Yeah. Her name is Melissa Kiss. Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh, also, not sure if anybody noticed, but I wanted to update this. My PNG tuber program apparently has an adjustable saying where I could say when my mouth opens and when I bounce and when I scream. So I made that different. So I'm speaking as loud as I usually am, and I'm not going all over the place. And random noises in the background do not make me jump and bounce and open my mouth and stuff. So I'm hoping that this is good. I'm gonna probably re-look at it. Probably do some videos with me on there to see if I can tell the difference and stuff. Eileen D, nice. That one I can't say. Imagine having a name you can't say on YouTube. Jesper. Bill. Bill. Yeah. Makes sense. Patrick Gerler. Ryan. Let's see. His name is Garbo Chan. Garbo Chan. Greg Walls. What's Garbo Chan? Ooh. The last name Tinker? I did not know that was that thing. We're running out of funny names. I'm considering skipping. You know what? Let's do this. Ah! Yum. Those credits were fucking long as hell. A lot longer than I was expecting. I have 1 heart. Boing, 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 boing. Mm-hmm. I remember running into somebody whose name was Chastity.
Yeah, you'll also have to refresh the page too on Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Apparently,
sounds.
apparently Lara wants to sit with Daddy. What?
Apparently on
Okay.
Twitch I don't have to, but on YouTube it's a different stream.
Yeah. It is an entirely different stream. What? Hang on a sec.
It's child go rah. And it's like Nani? What is the matter, child? It's like rah. It's like I see. Mm. We boinging. We boing. Blender portal. There we go.
Sorry, I had to BRB again. Somebody's hungry. So,
Oh.
yeah. Like, I mean, I'm watching the credits go by.
Mhm.
What?
Okay. We want boots. Then we want that. And we want that. And we want boom. Okay, cool. Hey cats, I'm back, you invisible bastards. I swear you're just like figments of my imagination. Yeah, you are figments of my imagination. What's up with that? Ow. Where's my golem? There he is. Hey, bro. What the hell are you doing on this side? How did you do that? How did you do that, dude? Why are you over here? My guy. Oh. My dude, come here. Hey. Go this way. Okay. Go. Go. Go.
A lot of Alex's for Insight Global.
Yeah.
What?
Are you over here? My golem was on the other side of the fence.
I don't know how I got to the other side of the fence.
give at S name tag. Oh,
What?
there we go. I know exactly what to call him. My guy. My guy. How's it going, my guy? He's not exactly impressed with the situation.
Hmm. What?
And
I think somebody's ready for a nap.
it's nap time.
I think somebody's ready for a nap. Because she's probably not going to go down until I join her.
It's a classic. Chop be all like, yo, I'm not going down until you come with me.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
like,
much.
damn.
What?
Mhm.
Yes, I know. We're watching the credits of Minecraft. The people that made the game.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes, I never said it was interesting. Yes, I know. Those are screws.
Oh.
No, you can't play with those. What's up?
Mhm.
Rebecca McFadden.
Yeah, they sometimes have like names as like, my dude, did your parents like give up on you at birth?
Samuel Worthy Sage.
What? That has to be a switched name. Oh, that's how he did it. He did it on the went on the melons and went here because he can jump apparently. He's got mad hops.
What? Hmm? You comfy?
Should be all like, father, I desire nap.
And it did a change to the mic, but it didn't save because I didn't shut it down properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Oh, that's not good.
Shh. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, I already have a light here. I have a
Yes, of
light
course I
here.
love you. Hey.
Mm.
I love you too. Hmm?
I think what I've noticed is that there seems to be very few games that scratch very specific itches.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, the itch that I've been wanting to scratch is a game like Warframe, legitimately. Because Warframe is like the best option of the games like that.
Yeah, with
That's why
looter
I've been very
shooter,
interested. Yeah.
it's kind of the best option that's out there because it respects the player. Unlike
Yeah.
a lot of the competition that's currently out, a lot of them don't respect the player very much.
Yeah. I know one thing that they did was in Borderlands specifically, because I played a little bit of Borderlands. they kind of started this thing where they made this borderline insert character replace one of the most popular characters in the game series. And it wasn't even like, oh, she's a good leader and she proved it. It was because, oh, she's a powerful siren, and like right now she's literally the only siren out there.
Hmm.
And it's like she's not a very good leader because the very first thing she does is a suicide mission. And I'm like, yeah, that's not like the greatest thing to do, right?
Hmm.
And because at least I forget her name, but she was the Phoenix. At least she was like an actual leader.
Hey.
Unfortunately, the person that quote unquote replaced her is not a very good leader.
Hmm.
And it's like it's straight up like it doesn't respect the players because everybody loved that character and they got rid of her in exchange for somebody who's not doesn't even come close. Because for one of the reasons why people liked her was because she was cute. This new character kind of sort of isn't very cute.
Honestly, that's one thing that kind of annoys me with games, or games that charge too much for half-assed content.
Yeah.
Like we see that quite a
Uh,
lot in many games,
mhm.
and a lot of people point out, well, Destiny is a very similar game to Warframe. Why don't you like Destiny? That's one of the games that honestly just does not respect the players at all.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, that's probably why they're not going to be around for too much longer.
Yeah. From what I can tell,
Two
actually,
of the eight people
I saw
actually left, so they're now down to
I
6.
yeah, I saw that somebody made a video as to why Warframe will outlast Destiny, but the thing is, I didn't watch it even though I'm a huge Destiny fan. No, sorry, not Destiny. Warframe fan. My bad. Um, because I just like would like something positive to happen in
Yeah.
the internet. Especially since like a lot of the creators have been starting to leave. And here's the thing: as a small creator, I'll say this. Um, actually, I was gonna make a video on it as soon as I get big enough, but essentially, everybody is replaceable, and everybody does get replaced. And essentially, everybody has replaced a lot of their biggest stars with somebody. And I, as a creator who just now started, have the capacity to replace a lot of streamers like and content creators that are like me that have gone.
Yeah.
And that's like, can be seen as a good thing in some cases. But the thing is I have big shoes to fill, and that's the thing is like, who, if someone's gonna replace your creator, they're gonna have to make sure they're just as good.
Yeah.
And right now, everybody's funneling to people who are similar to the creators they love. You know,
Lara.
uh, because a lot of them are just disappearing. And it's
Mhm.
like it's sad because it's sad not because like they're moving on, but it's sad because a lot of memories were made while those people were there.
Yeah.
So you're always gonna put one to one comparison between the new guy and the old guy.
Yeah.
I think the one I was priming as an example is Eddie Murphy.
Mhm.
There is a Eddie Murphy used to be. I watched all of his movies. Now he is not somebody I watch a lot. Instead, I watch a lot. Instead, he has been replaced with Rage and Cotton from Rage Gaming videos.
Yeah.
So I have not missed a single
Lara,
Rage
stop
Gaming video in a
pushing
while.
buttons.
You know. So, yeah.
I know you wanna play.
Yeah. So I guess some people are like, it's a weird way. It's a weird way to say it and look at it, but I think it's like the correct way to say look at it. Eventually, you find a replacement, for them,
Yeah.
and it doesn't always have to be a bad thing because MatPat gets to be a father now
hmm
and
Like
a friend,
he's still gonna
right?
be very much involved with the channel.
Yeah,
Like he's not going away.
and at least it's. I guess
But
like I say this in a very appropriate for a YouTube thing. At least he didn't go the way of the Green Ranger
mhm. I
because he.
the way that I see it,
Yeah,
at least as he mentioned, I get to call my shots.
yeah,
And this isn't necessarily the death of the channel. This is the new beginning, the rebirth of the channel, and see where
yeah,
these creators can take it from then on. I'll still be very much on the actual sidelines and guiding them, but I won't be the one producing the videos anymore.
yeah. I know that MatPat basically just said it's time to be a producer rather than a content creator because he's still gonna be involved. Like, don't get me wrong, but he's now gonna take a completely different route.
Yeah.
Because also a fun thing. I know people dislike MatPat for his theories, but here's the thing: his theories have never been something he actually believed. Like I
Some of
don't.
them,
I've
yes.
actually been. Yeah, I've been pushing that a lot because he even said it himself. Where there's only very few theories he actually believes. It's just his content is check out this cool thing. Let's see if we can find evidence of it.
Or a lot of the other
Yeah.
time where it's just like, okay, so here's an interesting thought experiment.
Mm-hmm. Also, there's a dark spot over here that I'm trying to fill. I think this is actually dark enough to spawn something. Yeah. I think another thing is so, I'm glad that a lot of companies seem to be getting the message because what seems to have gotten really more prevalent is people who are consumers or people who like buy a lot of products. We're starting to put our foot down when it comes to a lot of things, and it's starting to affect businesses so much that they're starting to stop doing stupid shit.
That
Like,
depends. That still happens
yeah,
quite prevalently.
it happens. It happens a lot because like there's still people who believe it's the right call, but I've seen a lot of
Apple.
people say, yeah, Apple is a good one, and Twitch, according to somebody who brought up the analytics, actually got rid of people because they're no longer growing 20% every single year. So I don't think it's.
In
I
fact,
think
if
that
anything, there's
yeah,
still the mass exodus that they're dealing with.
yeah. There's a mass exodus of creators, and that's probably gonna be a bad thing. I
Mhm.
know that much because creators are literally their product.
Yeah.
And if their product is saying "fuck this shit, I'm out," then that's bad.
Mhm.
Uh, because when your product is a living thing, and that living thing doesn't want to work for you anymore, that's gonna cause a big dent in your company.
Well,
I know
the
that
other
much.
problem that kind of exists with Twitch is, like I said, you see, we're not slaves. We're not
Yeah.
slaves. We're content creators, which means that we want to actually be paid fairly.
Hmm.
And that I think is a big key because I feel like a lot of places, especially in the creative outlet, they're not caring enough to pay their creators respectively. Like up
Yeah.
until recently, most Hollywood blockbusters, the actual writing staff, the part that a lot of people complain about not making the movie good, they only get paid
Hmm.
$500 out of a multi-billion-dollar movie. That's it,
Hmm.
$500.
Yeah.
Like there
From
is a couple exceptions to that. For example, Deadpool, the creator actually got quite a bit. Do you know why?
why?
Because Deadpool himself is one of the writers, aka Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
So he made sure that all the creators, all the actual writers, writing staff was actually paid very well for it. There are
I think
exceptions, but for the most
I,
part, most writers are paid about $500 a movie, if even that.
mhm. I think one of the things that I've learned when it comes to businesses is reward for quality begets quality. Because if you have a lot of quality and you get jack shit for it, why would you provide more quality in your next project? You know. So a property paid. Okay, it's
What?
same thing that I always call uh a lot of creators were essentially like clowns. A
Hmm?
well played clown is a happy clown, and a happy clown is a good performing clown,
Yeah.
right? It's like uh, it also leads into another thing like calling us clowns is like we're not we're not influencers like people say we are. We are entertainers, so we shouldn't be throwing out like super we shouldn't be trying to use our platform to make a difference in the government, right? That's just cringe as hell.
Well, in some ways,
Uh
I kind of disagree with that.
yeah.
Like, in
I,
certain ways, yes, and in certain ways, no. See, things that
yeah.
actually affect us as far as tech, yes, we have the perfect outlet for
Exactly.
that.
Yeah, that's the
But
things we should be probably doing stuff.
as far as trying to shift political debates and whatnot
Yeah.
that are outside of tech, I personally don't think it's a good outlet for it.
I think that you mean that's kind of sort of what I mean is like I think it's a good idea to shape how people treat us in the tech and entertainment stuff, but probably don't want to get into a fight with a governor
Yeah.
on your channel. Because I'm not a news outlet. I may not like my the people who run my state, but I'm not gonna get into a fight with them on my channel, right? That's just cringe.
I
Because
will.
yeah,
I've gotten into
yeah,
a fight with a couple MLAs on one of my friends' podcasts.
yeah. Well, that's your friend's podcast, and I guess your friend's podcast is definitely fine because that's a podcast, which is basically just a couple people arguing, which is like that's the whole point of it, which is that's appreciated. It's like a podcast is never that good unless somebody is arguing, because then at least there's a difference in opinions, which is the
Yeah.
point of a podcast, right? I always keep thinking that this does damage, but apparently I can sit on this saw.
No, you can sit on the saw all you want. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
install a mod that it does,
No.
but it's just like, okay, that's the only thing this mod does. Yeah, that seems pointless.
Yeah. I'm rearranging the thingies. And I figured I'm pretty good at that, so I might as well just do it.
I'm gonna go to an in city.
Yeah. I think the one thing that I might be really good at in this server is somebody was talking about who's the smartest one. I think the one I think I'm really good at is lighting, or like the mechanics of like basically the non-important mechanics like lighting and water usage and stuff like that. Just like the nature kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Plants. Like I made an entire park out of 6 plants that it's really cozy. I like that. I like that little park.
Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting tired? Hmm.
And speaking of which, how much hours has it been? It's not too bad. Oh, if you go
We
running
started.
into it, it's
We started around
easily.
the same time, so
Mhm.
I think theoretically, if you reach their hours, I'm probably there as well. Minus 10 or
Yeah,
15 minutes.
yeah. I think you started yours first as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I want it to be symmetrical, so I'm gonna be doing 4 each. That's 4.
There's that one that I attacked.
I think it's spacing, actually, specifically. I'm really good with spacing.
Min-maxing?
Yes, mid-maxing is really great as well. I love mid-maxing. It's like my favorite thing ever. In fact, I think I mentioned this during a video, but not on stream. I mid-max going to the bathroom, so there's like a process to it that makes it super fast.
Yeah.
And also,
You know, I'm
like,
gonna see if I can get us a
yeah.
couple of Elytras.
Yeah. That's kind of like a weird little thing I was talking about when it came to like we were talking about stereotypes earlier, and one of the stereotypes that I never mentioned for like Filipinos for me is like the whole thing of like mid-maxing is kind of like a thing we do, because like the reason why we wear a really stupid hat and long sleeves is due to the fact that if we're comfortable enough, we'll be able to perform our jobs much easier.
Mm-hmm.
And what's very uncomfortable is direct sunlight. Direct sunlight can actually kill too, so that's
yeah.
one of the biggest fears of working Filipino. Don't want to get heat stroke while you're doing something. And one of the things is, like, in order to be really comfortable, do your work in the
What are you
beginning of the
doing?
day.
If
Doing
you
your work
can.
in the beginning of the day is like the best mid-maxing I can think of, because as soon as all you have is just tidying up the place when somebody else makes it dirty, you know you kind of sort of have won the day because your work is complete.
Ah, shit. Stupid choker boxes.
I even min-max making my videos, although if I'm tired, I do make mistakes.
Yeah, we all kind of make mistakes. Like I said,
Yeah.
I did make a mistake in my most recent one, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's an incarnate weapon without the incarnate path that I chose.
Yeah.
So that is entirely my fault.
I think I also did the same thing, unfortunately. So
See,
I'll probably remember that as well.
even us creators do make mistakes every so often.
Yeah.
I promise I may make the same mistake again. I doubt it though. But I'm not gonna exactly rule it out.
And this is probably why I didn't get as many likes on mine, is probably due to the fact that I never showed the pass.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is, because I know that some people don't tell me stuff. Did I? Yeah, I did. I got my hair caught in my seat again. There we
Ouch.
go. Yeah. It's a metal chair.
Yeah,
One,
mine's an
two,
actual
three.
computer chair. Or an
Yeah.
office chair as it's called.
Mine is a metal chair mainly because rolling it around was kind of like not beneficial for me.
Well, I'm on carpet, so technicality that's
Yeah.
not super beneficial for me either.
Yeah. It's not only that, but honestly, I find that the metal chair much more comfortable. Because I remember telling my mom that because of the way that back issues usually form, I might need to make it to where I basically have
What?
less stress on my back. And one of the ways to do that is actually to put my knees lower than my hips when I'm sitting.
Yeah.
And this chair does help with that.
What? Yes, I know. Did I get you some milk?
She needs some milk?
Yeah, probably.
She needs some milk! Dude, Urban Dictionary is really weird because the definitions for some of the words kind of off to the original design of the meme.
Mhm.
But then again, that usually is like a saying, where it's just like it's very off from the original meaning.
Yeah, a lot of things are off from the original meaning.
Yeah.
I've yet
Like
to find any chips yet.
yeah. You know how woke started was actually like you're awake to the realities of the world, and now it's literally you just are weird.
Mhm.
It used to be a good thing. That's the worst part. I used to deem myself woke until woke became what it is today. And then
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I don't think I want to be woke anymore. So I started doing my own research for one, and it's like, oh, do you do research by saying, oh, I'm gonna do a few videos? No, I go as far as I can with the research in public areas
Yeah.
where I spend a lot of time specifically looking at forums and the forums and like official stuff and unofficial stuff. And a lot of the time, the official stuff or the unofficial stuff is showing you only the worst of the worst or the best
Yeah.
of the best, just because they're trying to fit a narrative. It happens with everything.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Everything is like that. Every single person who's trying to show you something is trying to fit a narrative. And if you look at the nuance of things, you'll realize that not everything is the end of the world.
Alright, I'm gonna be RB. I gotta go take
Yeah.
somebody to go have a nap.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. That's good. The entire world isn't necessarily ending. It's just you're looking at the wrong part of the internet. That's like something I've learned. And also a thing of like you don't want to antagonize people who bring it up as well, due to the fact that most likely they're very adamant about believing that, and rather than trying to change how they feel about it, it's best to just relay your knowledge and then have them relay theirs, and then come to agreement that they won't try to change each other. Because that's the thing is like, there's a difference between a discussion and a debate. Oh, and an argument. But you can have a discussion about what you believe without having to change each other. That's like the thing. You never need to change somebody. I have a few viewers who believe some things that I don't agree with, but I'm okay with it. Yeah, I chill. And yes, I did in fact spend, looks like, oh, it's not actually been that long, but I spent like a while, about 20 minutes doing this for a while, just talking about some bullshit. You know I gotta have my fingers doing something when I'm talking about some bullshit. You know how mommy is. Yeah. And why have I chosen mommy instead of daddy? It's because in most cases, there is more respect for your mother. So if you're gonna be listening to some bullshit coming from some person, might as well be somebody role playing as your mama. Mm. I'm gonna need more of these. Mm.
Alright, I'm back.
Right.
Until
Yeah.
further notice.
Mm-hmm.
She is right now upstairs in her crib. Just I do want to kind of keep an eye on her, I guess. Many parents ask, why don't I have a baby monitor? Because pretty much every single one that exists today requires internet connectivity.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they all require to be linked to Amazon Web Services, which has virtually no security.
Yeah.
So
never
that
know when
means that
someone is just
any
listening to
nefarious
you.
actor can basically hack into my network and get personal data.
Yeah.
Because we did buy one of them, and well, let's just put it this way, it didn't like the guest network because it does automatically time out. That's how I programmed it. It had to be connected to the main network. And I'm like,
Mhm.
that's kind of a problem. Well, why is that such a problem? Because I could honestly give a 3-second course, and Lara, my daughter, who's 15 months old, can figure out how to hack into the server.
Mhm.
Like, it's that bad.
Mhm.
This isn't rocket science, guys. This is real life. So,
Yeah.
because of that reason, we have chosen not to have any baby monitors of any kind.
Mhm.
Unless we can find an old school one which just uses batteries and a walkie-talkie,
Mhm.
which are becoming very, very hard to find nowadays.
Yeah. Definitely, when it comes to children, you gotta make sure you have the best of the best. Because if you don't have the best of the best, you are not.
Well, they're kind of so on one of my friend's podcasts. We did actually test out quite a few different variables,
Mhm.
and keep in mind, so we applied for a phony credit card,
Mhm.
specifically made it to be the dominant purchase in the house, just to show how fast it could actually be. Now, I myself am not I am not super skilled in the world of hacking. I do know how to do it, but it's not like
Mhm.
I don't know how to put the. Anyways, the point is, we were able to get that credit card within a matter of seconds.
Mhm.
It took us exactly 5 minutes. Our en route was a smart TV.
Mhm.
The point is, you have so many smart devices nowadays that have no firewalls but require internet connectivity to update.
Mhm. Oh, speaking of hacking with weird shit, did you know that there's a guy who hacked? Uh, there's a guy who hacked something in the gaming industry,
Mhm.
and they have deemed him dangerous.
Yep.
And what ended up happening is they have decided that they were specifically going to charge him as someone who's insane or mentally ill, and they decided that he'll be in a hospital for the rest of his life. Uh, because they have to make sure he's not going to be dangerous. But the thing is, in my experience, when it comes to asylum, uh, it all depends on the morals of the doctor,
Yeah.
and very very this is very strange. It's very interesting to say. Asylum based stuff has some of, if not the most immoral doctors in the world.
Yeah.
As somebody who has gotten a run in with that sort of thing, because I am a very like I have been deemed homicidal suicidal.
Same here.
Um Essentially they are some of the most
Cringeworthy.
cringe-worthy doctors out there. They have this thing where uh they treat you like an animal, essentially.
Yeah.
They don't treat you like a person.
And
Well, apparently, dude, yeah.
the frustrating thing about the whole thing is not just about the treatment. It's also the
Mhm.
factor that you're less than a person.
Yeah. So essentially, the thing is, they're essentially damning that kid to hell
Yeah.
just because they hacked a video game company, right?
Yeah.
And their reasoning is he could do it to anything else, but as somebody who is autistic myself, I would say if he doesn't have any interest in that, because he has interest in video games, so why would he? Why would he bring himself to hacking anything else? I straight up like that's the reality of it. He is autistic, so that he's not gonna do anything he doesn't want to do, right? So why would he go into government hacking again? Because he's not interested in government. He's interested in video games. He's
Hmm.
not an enemy of the state. He's the enemy of video gaming. And if anything, if you really wanted to have somebody who's really good at hacking defend your game, my guys, you should hire him. You know how much money he would cost? Not that much. I'm not gonna lie. An
Well,
autistic person,
the
if they
the
have
thing
an interest
is,
in something,
it's
don't need
kind
that much
of
money.
it's kind of a
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot more difficult than that.
Yeah, that's
Because
also a thing. It's like, yeah.
here's the thing: if you want a game to run a particular way, and then people hack into the game, let's say like Warframe, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say they decide that Ureli's board is no longer going to work, and they go
Yeah.
and actually change the code.
Yeah. That's one thing that's really dangerous as well.
Yeah.
I know that some people were actually like calling for that. I remember that specific line from somebody is somebody was saying they should get like a hacker friend to go into their files and just remove frames they don't like. They were listing off a lot of them and they said especially Urali. And I was like,
Okay, first off,
actually again,
I honestly don't
yeah.
understand the hatred so much, and I've had her since day one. Yes,
I
I
don't
agree she had
understand.
bugs,
I
but
understand the
to end up
hatred in a
saying
weird way.
that,
Mhm.
to understand that, oh, well, I need her removed out of my inventory, you can't just sell her?
It's not. It's not that. It's like it's this weird thing where I understand how the hatred happens. It's just I don't agree with it because
Yeah.
it's just this thing of like whenever somebody has an opinion, right? They will, especially on the internet, they will fight for that opinion
Even though it's
because they were
incorrect.
taught. Yeah, exactly.
I run into the same
Um,
thing with Apple fanatics all the time. See,
yeah,
it's never Apple's fault that your hard drive failed. It's your fault because you plugged it in one too many times. You turned on the power button too many times.
yeah.
Even though you know it's a design fault of Apple for putting the power rail so close to the NAND flash, which by the way runs your computer, and also the main BIOS chip. For those of you that aren't into tech, a BIOS chip is the very first thing that gets power to your computer or electronic device when you power it on.
Mm-hmm.
You lose your BIOS chip, there is no backing up whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. I think the thing that I've learned when it comes to interacting with people on the internet is they they yeah that's Killer has a good example as well. Don't interact with it if you don't like it, because people forget that there's a choice to not interact with it. And it's like, oh, but like she comes in my Jaretti comes into my games. Well, it's
Well,
not you interacting with her. It's somebody else because Warframe is one of the games where you do not have to bring yourself to interact with your crew at all. Just fucking ignore her. You know? And another thing is like people just can't do that. People have to be angry about something and have to express their anger in the most aggressive means possible.
well, like I mean, I've run into so many people saying Jair should be removed because she's too powerful.
Yeah.
I've also
I
heard
think
the way that I'm playing Korra is incorrect, and I'm like,
yeah.
okay, if it's incorrect, then prove me wrong. Well, you should be
Yeah.
running this build because this build is meta. and yet the meta build is not actually dying, or the meta build is dying because it's a glass cannon.
Yeah, I think I ran into a guy on the internet. I think his name is, I forget his name. Sorry, I forget his name, but he's pretty cool because he's a person who is a creator who's like, oh, I'm gonna run level cap, and essentially saying that level cappers are like getting more common, which I would say yes. Um, but it's still 5% of the community
Yeah.
because it's just there's more people out there, and of course, only 20% of a community will ever comment on a video.
Mhm.
So it's more the fact that like there's just more people, and some of them, and it's like the 5% are just larger
Yeah.
and louder. But I mentioned to him that I would do level cap. Like this is true, by the way. I would do level cap if there is a reward.
Yeah.
But since there's no reward, I don't value prestige. I am not gonna do level cap.
Mhm.
And that is like the most straight up and most truthful answer to level cap I will ever say. Because it's exactly what the problem is. I would do level cap if there is a reward. And to be completely honest, if level cap were to include a skin for your rally that was literally just the regular rally skin with a human head on it, I would fucking do level cap immediately.
Mhm.
And I would do it however many times it takes to get it, right? I have a
Yes,
friend
but
with me
the thing
sideways
is,
mess it, yeah.
the thing
Yeah.
that I honestly hate about level cap specifically is that
Mm.
yes, it's hard to get there, but once you're actually there, it's just too easy.
Yeah. I think
And
yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are building these builds for level cap, and that's like the only thing they can survive in.
Yeah, that's the thing is like people build a lot of meta builds, but keep in mind like most meta builds are level cap builds, and not everybody goes to level cap. Like, I'm
Mhm.
not gonna lie, if you're doing a build that comes from Nightmare Frame, you already kind of sort of are fucking up because he's making level cap builds. He doesn't do anything but level cap. That's why you do not see him on the game. He's doing level cap, Eidolons, and Profit Taker.
Yeah,
That is why you don't see him.
that is the only reason why I plays the game, to be honest.
Yeah. And it's commendable because it's just a way of playing the game that he enjoys, and because he enjoys it, it's fine. But the problem that I always have with Nightmare Frame is his
His actual
inability to accept other
survivability.
people. No, it's his inability to accept other people's ways of playing the game.
Yeah.
He's he's the most aggressive with it to a point where it's very inappropriate. And he also has this thing where he'll attack his audience over a single comment that he didn't like on an entire video, which you never attack your customer.
Oh.
I know it's a weird way to say it in a sense of it's an audience technically, but here's the thing: you are providing them a service, therefore they are your customer.
Mhm.
Don't insult your customer.
Well,
Don't do it.
It's kind of the same thing with fast food chains. And
Yeah.
the thing about fast food chains that I honestly hate a lot of the time
Mm-hmm.
is the whole customer is always right mentality
Yeah.
that many of them follow. And in some situations, yes, the customer is always right.
Mm-hmm.
Like in my wife's case, she is allergic to tomatoes, so that means if a tomato ever touched that hamburger, it's contaminated. She can't have it. Tomato
Mm-hmm.
juices will basically put her into anaphylactic shock.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a very serious matter.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very pissed off on the factor that, because the customer is always right, so many customers will take advantage of it, even when they're
Yeah.
not right.
Mm-hmm.
Eh,
I think that's a thing where it's like a weird balancing act of like the customer will sometimes just try and take advantage of you rather than actually complaining about something that really matters, right? I
Well,
have
I
actually
say it
I've
because you
done this,
see
by
it a
the way.
lot on
Mhm.
TikTok, especially,
Yeah, yeah.
where you have a creator that is talking about their job, no, not stating
Mhm.
the place, but they're like, okay, this is the customer that I ran into work. So customer's like, well, I ordered a large fries. No, you ordered a medium fries. I asked you, did you want to upsize it? And you said no. No, I ordered a large fries. And then, you'd hold up the entire line because of this argument, because you're incompetent and just
Mhm.
continue wanting to fight over
Yeah.
the fact that, yes, you did order a medium fries. You just said
Mm.
no to the upsize, so I'm sorry. There's been times that I have made the improper order.
Oops.
Like multiple times when I've been in Wendy's, I would order some food for myself and my daughter, and then I would
Mhm.
forget to grab her juice. Keep in mind, I'm not blaming Wendy's for this, as that's me forgetting to get her juice. That's not
Yeah.
Wendy's, that's me. So I go and pay, and then I realize, oh wait, shit, I forgot to get Lara something to drink. I should probably get that.
Mhm.
And that's after the transaction's already done. I'm not going to go bitchy about it because, well, I'm the one that forgot to get her juice.
Yeah.
It's not Wendy's fault that I forgot. It's my fault.
Mhm. Mhm. I think what is it called? Oh, so some people say like, oh, people don't like taking accountability.
Oh
I
yes, I know
guess
they
more
don't.
it, it's it's tied to a very specific like social thing. The social thing is this: nobody likes to be wrong, so nobody wants to admit that they made a mistake,
Yep.
right? And the people who tend to be able to say that they did something wrong tend to be really reasonable, but they also have this thing where, yeah, just like how I did, it has to come in a very harsh life lesson
Yeah.
where they have fucked up and there's nothing around to say that you did not fuck up. And it comes to a thing of like, I think there should be a legitimately. I think there should be more people who fuck up like that. There should be more people who fuck up so badly that they have to reflect on their life choices.
Mhm.
And that's why I say specifically the way you're raising your child is you're letting her fuck up. And if she asks why, and she asks like, why did I get these consequences? You're gonna explain it to her, right?
Mhm.
So she understands. That's a really good way to do it. And I think more parents should do that.
Well, and the
More
part that
parents
kind
need
of
to,
annoys me
yeah.
with a lot of parents nowadays is,
Hmm.
okay, whether we like to admit it or not, getting hurt is sadly one of the
Yeah.
best ways to learn.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly tired of seeing so many parents wrapping their kids up in bubble wrap because,
Mm.
well, I don't want my kid to get hurt. I actually ran out of fingers trying to count how many times I've fallen out of a tree. That's
Yeah.
legitimately. I honestly can't count on both my hands how many times I've fallen out of trees.
I might have to
And
move.
we're talking
The,
about a tree that we're talking about some trees that are quite high. And yes, I could have
Mhm.
actually died, but I didn't.
Mhm. That's the scariest one, and the one that honestly, it's the scariest one. However, it is the most important one because you're not gonna go climbing a tree, at least not in a way that's not safe, right?
Like I mean, you learn with what you do. You learn
Yeah.
by how you do stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, it's
And
like,
at the same time, we kind
mhm.
of have to also go through life and be like, yeah, you know what? That was dumb. I've made a lot of dumb mistakes in my past. I still make a couple dumb mistakes here and there. But
Yeah,
it's about learning from those dumb mistakes and becoming a better person in the long run.
yeah. I think that's like the thing that people might need to start. it's a weird little way to say.
I think one of the downsides that we have
Yeah.
as a society is we all have to
Mhm.
be perfect.
Yeah. And you don't
And with
have to
being
be.
perfect, this basically means that every single thought process that comes out of your mind, especially with
Mhm.
our generation, we're especially bad with that, is we think it's a perfect idea. But in reality, it's like you have to think about so many other things.
Mhm.
And the downside is whether we like to admit it or not, our generation is probably going to be passing off debt to our next of kin.
Yes. We.
Not like an asset or like a big bursary when we pass away. No, we're legitimately probably, like, as much as I hate to say it, there's a high chance that I will be passing my daughter hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt that I could not pay for in my life. And that's 90% of
Yeah.
people my age or our
Yeah.
age.
Yeah.
Because that's just how we are, unfortunately. And it's not the factor, oh well, we choose to live frivolously. No, look at how much certain things cost.
Mhm. That's like the thing that I've
Like, look how much
run
a cell
into
phone
kind of.
bill nowadays is. You may not think about
Yeah.
it, but a cell phone bill to like most people is the only phone you have. Yes, technically I have
Mhm.
two phones because there's mine and my wife's. We're on the same account, but it's still the factor of, that's the only way of contact that we have. Our
Mhm.
parents didn't have to pay for internet, and even if they did, like, let's just say hypothetically, it would have been a hell of a lot cheaper than it is today.
You know what my favorite part of our streams are?
But
It's like we seem to be like one of the most adult streamers, group of streamers on Minecraft, because we literally talk about adult shit rather than kid shit. We're not over here like doing anything like super special. We're just like building shit or like running around, talking about some real shit. And that I think that's like a thing where like a lot of people who are our age or slightly younger don't watch Minecraft because it's just a bunch of people making content for kids.
hang
But
on a second.
yeah, I noticed that a lot of the time, if a kid does show up, they tend not to stay. But if somebody is like a little bit older, they tend to stay for some relaxing conversations. Because it may be some deep, like, and probably some like morbid shit, but yeah, nobody's perfect, and most stuff I do is I think it's funny. Yeah, yeah. I think I think the thing is that depending on who you are, being perfect could be necessary, but most of the time, as a regular citizen, perfection is not necessary, right?
Perfection
And
will
even
honestly
then,
never happen.
yeah, perfection never happens, and some people kind of want to make sure that they have at least close to it. But a lot of people like when you've lived a long time, you realize perfection just isn't possible. So it's literally just try your best and do your best to min max your life so you can be healthy as long as possible. So you can be there long as possible. Because I want to play games as much as I can,
Oh
right?
yeah, same here.
Yeah, so it's like I want to make sure that I take care of my hands. So, oh, and my mind. Like if Warframe disappears one day, I would still like to be able to talk about Warframe to the what was the word for people for boomers? The youngins. Talk about how your Reddy was literally the most hated character in the game, but I fucking loved her so much, and how she technically is the reason why my content is doing well right now.
hmm
Because if I didn't fuck up, I probably would have not be as successful as I am now. Honestly, and that's like why I say fucking up is extremely important to growth. You need to fuck up. You need to get to a point where you're so low that like you feel like quitting, but instead of quitting, you learn how to analyze and learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
And video games can teach you that, but keep in mind that it's kind of like a one. It's not 1-to-1, but it is somewhat very very similar. I
Yeah.
learned this from that guy that I really hate who made that video about me rejecting me, but it's a true thing. Um, you can 1-to-1 mid-max your life like a video game and do whatever the hell you want, as long as you know what you're doing.
Mhm.
And the best way to know what you're doing is to go to somebody who knows what they're doing.
Or sometimes
Like
fuck
you,
up enough times that you figure it out.
yeah. And that's part of it actually, is you need to learn from actually fucking up how to handle fucking up.
Mhm.
You know, learn how to handle it. And that's like the thing is like, some people just don't know how to handle it, and it's because they've never done it before. They've never gotten fucked up so badly that they have to sit down in a chair for hours on end thinking about what they've done, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, I put myself on timeout, and I thought about everything, and I was like, 2 weeks later, I came back, and my mental health is literally fluctuating as normal, but it's not as bad as it could be. Because my mental health is just like that. But I can handle it better now. Because I just know how my brain works.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on, let me not punch you, by the way. I just wanna see if I can make... I'm gonna have to do console commands, because making torches on my own is
Whee!
some bullshit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the one thing I cheat in the most in this game is torches. It's like...
Type in TT semicolon throwable underscore torches.
I spell torch. It's like, oh, you're old as hell, but you don't know how to spell torch? Of course! Because who spells torches nowadays? Legitimately.
Me?
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing,
Also,
Phantom?
Yeah.
very stressed right now.
Oh.
Oh, nice. Come join us
I'm
for
getting
some adult.
constantly brake checked by a Ferrari 458 on the freeway.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
dude, it's always the fucking Ferraris, man. Always
Most
the
people-
fancy
White
shit that'll do that.
458.
Most people
Like,
that drive Ferraris are just fucking assholes.
Yeah. Most. We say most. Remember that, chat. We're not talking about all of you. I think I know somebody who does this one.
I know somebody that actually owns a couple Ferraris. He's not an asshole. Because like I said, he owns them, he doesn't lease them.
I know a family that has a bunch of expensive cars, and they don't do that kind of stuff, thankfully. They're really chill people.
Mhm.
They just like collecting different cars from different countries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. The collectors,
They have
man.
the money to do it.
Collectors are weird, but they tend to be pretty nice, that's for sure.
They also
It's how-
actually drive the cars. They don't just let them sit in a garage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. That's like the best one. Like collectors that actually use their shit are like really great. Like how, yeah. We were talking about games and a good. That's not lying. I break checked by 20 of them. Yeah, yeah. See, it's not. Yeah.
That's just like
Although
I
there's
wanted to
always
join
that
in.
one
I got
Ferrari.
I got home and I just passed out. I'm like, that's all good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess you guys can hear my truck sometimes.
Yeah.
Nah, we're good.
Oh, he finally pulled off on an exit, so I just gassed past him. I did not want to be near him anymore.
Oh, I don't blame you.
That's the weird thing is like it's kind of like okay. Actually, that's a good way to say it. Ferraris are the Wukong of cars.
No, I wouldn't
If-
call them that. I wouldn't call them that. Wukong
what?
implies that they are undying, as well as being
No,
luxurious.
I mean, it's like the
Ferrari-
people who
Honestly, has the. How could I end up putting this bluntly? They have probably the most notorious track record for breaking down just because you sneeze a mile away.
yeah. I think what I mean by that is the people who drive them are most commonly fit under the stereotype of fuck with the guy just because they want to, rather yeah. And then you got the this is gonna be super weird. I've met somebody who had a Prius. They are the Urelli of of cars because they're kind of hard to drive from what I've heard.
They're
But
not. I
No.
learned to drive on a Prius. They're really easy to drive.
oh, okay. But like
It's their turn radius is like nothing.
Yeah.
yeah. But I think probably not hard to drive. It's more like there's a stigma on them because they're kind of like the you can't say Prius without imagining like a very fruity guy driving it. But essentially, they tend to be like one of the aggressively nicest people, with this thing where they'll take their anger out on random people, and then be really like weird. Like they'll randomly take their anger out on somebody, but they're also like weirdly enough the nicest people out there
Yeah.
with a temper, right? My best car is made of cardboard.
I will
Yeah.
say this: the new Priuses, the people that drive those cars are considered like street race cars out here. But also, their 0 to 60 is, I believe, a second and a half lower than a Mustang.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's because they're a full hybrid drivetrain with a big electric motor, the big primes.
Yeah.
They're we tested it. 0 to 60 is, I believe, 5.5 seconds.
Yeah. I wish the real Urelli had something like that, powerful and shit. Just gotta put a lot of effort into it, I guess.
Yeah. New Priuses also look cool though.
Yeah.
New Prius, there's one in front of me now.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. I would say I live in a place that has a lot of Japanese cars for all that's out here. I mean, I'm driving one. You don't see many American cars over here.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's cheaper to drive a Japanese car and they last a lot longer to go salt.
Yeah.
So they last forever. I mean,
American cars kind of die. Like, I mean, we got many GMs, for example. There's a big, massive recall right now for the driver's side seatbelt not being attached to anything. There is also a new recall, which, by the way, get this, GM Sierra, and also Chevy Silverado trucks. Get this. The roof can come flying off while you're driving.
What the hell?
What a surprise!
Now that's a unique problem. What the what? Why?
No. You should read the list of all 50 of the Ford Focus recalls that can cause death-causing accidents.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I call it the Ford Focus.
Isn't isn't like the Honda like super reliable compared to a American car too?
Yep.
Yeah.
We have a Honda Pilot, my family, and we were on vacation last year during Christmas. Not this last Christmas, the one before. And my mom, she's old, and she doesn't really know how to drive on bad conditions for some reason. She never learned in her lifetime. We hit an ice patch and she slammed the brakes. Gina, if you don't know what that does, basically don't do that ever.
Fishtail?
If you lock your wheels, you lose all control of the car and it'll start you spinning and just throw you in a random direction.
It wasn't a fishtail, it was a spin out. Oh, damn.
We slammed into a concrete guardrail barrier. Like you know, they have the metal strip and there's the wall behind it.
Mm-hmm.
We hit the metal strip twice in that thing, 2 separate times that she hit it during that trip. And our Honda took the whole blow. We were completely fine, and it drove another, I think, 1,500 miles before we even did anything to fix it.
Dude.
Actually, we still haven't fully fixed it, and it's been over a year.
Basic, reliable. It's literally the Excalibur of cars.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's Toyota.
Yeah. Toyota? Oh.
Toyota.
Yeah,
Toyota is
Toyota
reliable.
So, to kind of put it bluntly, Toyota built the best transmission to ever be built. The 6-speed automatic transmission. It literally is it is the same transmission that they've had since they started making cars. It's just the fact that, unlike a lot of other manufacturers, instead of trying to rebuild the wheel, they just kind of looked at it. Okay, where do we fuck up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's that thing again.
And it's just those implementations of getting slightly better every single time we look at it.
Yeah.
And also
To the point
nice
where
thing
it's
is
just the
that
most bulletproof transmission.
instead of reinventing it every year and like making it a ton different, adding a new transmission type, what they do is they'll keep it for a while, and in the background they'll be working on the next edition and basically testing it pretty rigorously
Mhm.
Like
to make sure
CVTs.
it just doesn't die.
Like
Yeah.
CVTs. Okay, you buy a
Actually-
CVT from the inventors, Nissan. It's a fucking mess.
Yeah,
And
they
then you buy a
actually-
CVT from Toyota. Hey, guess what? There's
Toyota
no
started
CVT
making
lag.
CVTs a bit ago, and now theirs are just unkillable because they looked at it like, cool, can we make this actually function well? Probably. Also, the Toyota
Hey.
CEO is like, I don't know what kind of crazy he is, but first off, he greenlights amazing projects. Second, recently they had a thing where they were testing their rally cars, and he walked outside and asked to try the car, and they said okay, and they gave him a tracksuit for it and all that. You know, he has a tracksuit laying around. And he
Mhm.
proceeded to do a full course in record time, do a burnout, and then drive off with the car to the factory where it gets stored.
You know, the funny thing is,
He was gonna
yeah.
tell him no.
The funny thing is that after that track run, he had a long list of complaints. And he's like, you guys need to
Yeah,
fix
what
all
a
of this.
I mean, yeah. Here's the thing, though, is they have a whole honor code being efficient.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually driving back from cashing in my Social Security. That's why I joined the call. Is I don't have anything to do right now, but I have to leave in a few minutes because, geez, I have so much homework.
Jeez.
I saw something kind of green, and I thought it was a fucking creeper, but it was not a creeper. It was a illager.
I need to buy Minecraft once I fix my PC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
here
you
another
buy
one.
one version, you get one version, you get the other one too.
Yeah, you have to buy both
Yeah.
on
Ah.
PC. My issue with my PC
Uh-oh.
right now is my power supply isn't big enough.
Fun.
Uh-oh. I just got a debuff.
Well, it's big enough to run right now just fine. It has no issue running right now. My issue is that I need a 1,000 watt power supply to be able to run the GPU that I plan on buying.
It's one of the reasons why I always over buy what I need. Like my new computer
Yeah.
technically would be happy with a 1000 watt, but instead I'm actually going with a 1200.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
we got what you calls phantoms. Hold on, let me
Well,
fill
it's
this
not
in 'cause I'm
affecting
about to
me.
die.
It's not
Happening.
coming from me.
but it's cutting the line a bit close. And also, I looked into it, and I was telling one of my buddies about, yeah, I might replace it. You know, I'm kind of erring around the edge of the idea. And he said his PC is about to die. He has an old 1660 system. And he just said, hey, if you don't need that 850, I'll buy it off you if you replace it. And I'm like, bet, cool. I mean, that just means I won't be paying for the 850. I'll just be paying the difference between that and the 1000 now, which is nice. I'm just happy about that part.
My 6-cat house. Dude, I have 6 cats in my house because I decided to be the crazy cat lady.
You're also super stationary on creepers.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I also fucking hate creepers, so that makes sense.
One of my friends, we had a Minecraft board together, and I will come back one day, and our whole base is just covered in cats. And I'm just
Nice.
like, so, why? And they just said creepers.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, fair.
Creepers are a royal pain in the arse.
Yeah.
They are. They always will be.
Yeah.
Who actually cares? I don't know anyone that actually wants to see a creeper, besides unless you really need gunpowder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really need gunpowder, you probably want one, but other than that, yeah, I actually stopped playing alone because creepers, temporarily, and then something happened in our stream that made me do it permanently. But that's like neither here nor there. But we had this thing where I had to like make it to where creepers couldn't blow stuff up, and I still was very on edge with creepers because they kept blowing me up. And it was like, I was actually thinking about building a wall, but on that one, it's not like I can't do cheats. Because I decided not to do cheats. So I would have to get the courage to go over there and just do that. I'd have to
See,
get the courage to go do that.
I always get really lucky with enchantments. So when I was with them, the only reason they even survived against some creepers was just because of the fact that I ran around with only shields most of the time, and
Yeah.
just kept blocking the explosions.
Yeah.
Because I'll be real, I suck at building, I suck at resource gathering, but man, am I good at just exploring and killing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have quite a few of those people. We got quite a few of those people right now in the server. But hey, you know what?
Yeah.
The way that I look at it is we have fun in the server.
Yeah, that's like the best part.
Yeah.
I guess like I guess like that's the one thing about like other Minecraft players that do content. They kind of sort of take it a little bit too seriously. Is that like, it's always kind of been a thing with like a lot of things, but like, oh my god, if Minecraft streamers don't take shit way too seriously. I mean, then again, we're over here talking about like taxes and shit, because we're old as hell. Like, back in my day, taxes were like 15%. Now it's 17.
Well, like I mean, if anything, I got really low tax. Here in
Yeah.
Alberta, we only pay 5%, which is the federal
nice.
GST tax.
For me, it depends on the state. And over here in Hawaii, we have a hefty tax
Yeah.
because we have to keep the docks running and the airports too, because you know we live on an island.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna need to make sure that we can get deliveries of stuff. Because if we don't have deliveries of stuff, we're not getting stuff, and we like stuff.
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, this is the one. No, it's supposed to be 4. I think, weirdly enough, people in Hawaii are kind of sort of really vain, where your appearance is really important. But the thing is, like, we also have this thing where time is not, the timely manner is not possible because of the way our traffic works.
Yeah.
Even the bus is gonna be late at sometimes. NPC grifting is off, so world after alpha beta. That's my opinion on creepers. Yeah.
Honestly, the thing that kind of annoys me here is we pay so much for the bus, and yet we have one of the worst systems.
Oh yeah, I have.
Part of the reason why we have one of the worst systems is because, well, quite literally, my city just was like in the early 80s. I know we're the first ones to start building a train that connects north and south, but we're gonna stop for a period of time. Okay, so 20 years later, oh, we should really get back to building that train. Oh, well, it's probably gonna be, oh my god, it's expensive. Basically the entire conversation.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what did you expect? You
Yeah,
left it, you let it
train.
go for like 20 years. What did you
Mhm.
expect it to do? Things get more
Yeah.
expensive.
It's just like how the cookie crumbles, man. Everything just keeps getting more and more expensive throughout the years. Eventually, you're gonna run into that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's why I say sink or swim is probably not a valid way to live anymore. To like let your kid go anymore. Because at this point, even if your kid is a very, very successful student, right? You're gonna run into a situation where, when they get into life, things are so expensive. How the fuck are they supposed to get their life on if they just don't have some sort of help? I think one of the things that me and my mom said is we told my niece, because her parents decided sink or swim was their plan. That if she needs to make sure that she isn't too prideful to live with somebody.
Another big key, and I think this needs to be said, is don't get me wrong, I'm actually alright with the sink or swim lifestyle, but you
Mhm.
have to give them some sort of guidance first.
Yeah, that's
And it's
what
not
it is.
something
Like
you
they
can
need
just
guidance.
go from paying no bills to, by the way, you're moving out tomorrow. What?
Yeah,
Yeah. In other words, get out of my house, pack your bags.
yeah,
That sort of thing isn't something that can be done. Like, just to get utilities hooked up, it takes at least 2 weeks.
hmm that's
So
one of the things that
you go and
my
hypothetically rent a, you go and hypothetically find a place by tomorrow. You could probably move in, assuming you have enough money saved up for,
Ooh.
rent and also damage deposit. Yes, that's something that you have to pay for. But
Mhm.
you also have to consider the factor of, okay, well, I'm not going to have utilities for at least 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter if you're renting the place. The owner, the moment that you end up having the sign on the dotted line for the date, the owner's job is done. He's just
Mhm.
collecting the rent paychecks now. It's your responsibility to pay off the utilities.
Yeah,
See,
and the damages too.
one thing I do kind of like about the way my parents raised me, and I'll continue this with my daughter, is you kind of start slowly gearing them to be responsible for your own bills. So this means,
Mhm.
okay, there was a point in time where my dad's like, okay, you're old enough to get a job. Here's the classified section. Have fun.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I wasn't thinking he was serious until he, brought me the cell phone bill, and he's like, okay, how are you expecting to pay for this? Because this is your cell phone bill, not mine. I got you the
Yeah.
phone, but this is your bill. This is your responsibility.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, now I actually need to get a job because he wants me to pay for my cell phone bill. And the thing that
Mhm.
kind of pisses me off with the next generation, like our kids and such, is that they're kind of expectant that their parents are always going to pay for them.
Mhm.
And I kind of run into the same situation sometimes with our generation too, where it's like, okay,
Yeah.
but can you pay for my cell phone bill? Like, I'll be honest, I have had my parents help me out a couple times, but I do try to pay them back
Mhm.
in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
A lot of the
I
time,
think.
that's basically free. They get free service calls. I don't charge
Yeah.
them for when I show up at their door to fix something
Mhm.
because
I
I
think.
think that's fair.
With my mom, she has this thing where uh she does have me pay utilities, but she also said that for for a while, she's going to be trying to get me to be self-sufficient.
Yeah.
And what I've learned is it's a true two-way streak,
Hmm.
because I have to learn to put in effort as well.
Yeah.
Um, the only issue, like legitimately, that I have is I don't I I have this thing where if it's not my mess, I won't clean it.
Yeah.
And another thing is, specifically as someone who's autistic, I hate the feeling of grease on my body. So whenever I need to cook something, I can't if the pan is dirty. But one of the things is I clean the pan immediately after cooking. So it's a
I'll be honest.
twofold issue of
I sometimes will let it sit for a little bit. Like usually,
yeah.
if it's cooking late at night for like when my wife gets home. Okay,
Mhm.
most of the time it's probably gonna sit overnight, or I'm gonna put it in the dishwasher and let the dishwasher take
Yeah.
care of it.
I think that's like the big thing that always is the thing is like,
But
because we live together and she cooks too, we kind of sort of have to deal with each other's bullshit
oh yeah,
because mom doesn't clean the pan right afterwards. So I run into this thing of like, I either have to clean it right afterwards, or I need to.
I run
need
into
to
the
like,
same.
yeah,
I run into the same thing with my roommate.
yeah,
Don't get me wrong. How many times she's left loads of dishes in both sinks, and it's like, when are you gonna get around to clean them? When I feel like it. You have
Yeah.
both sinks literally full and overflowing,
mhm,
and you're the one that's allergic to mold, and yet here you are causing a shit ton of mold.
yeah. It's just roommate issues is this I'm running into. I think the one thing as well is I've told my family after they're planning on like moving mom to one of the other siblings' houses, one of my other siblings' houses, when she's ready to let me go.
Yeah.
And I have made it absolutely clear I am going to trash most of the furniture. And they're like, "Oh, why is that?" It's like, and my thing is this. I think I've mentioned this on like on a comment before, but I never mentioned it like to you guys. Unless it benefits me in some way, I don't want it there, and
Yeah.
I don't have a benefit from mentally, emotionally, or physically from just having a whole bunch of shit everywhere, right?
Like, I mean, to be fair, I really should get around to cleaning up this basement. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It is fucking
Yeah.
disgusting. But it's
Yeah,
like,
I think.
okay, majority of it is my junk.
Mhm.
And a lot of the reason why I haven't bothered to clean up the basement, even though my wife's been hounding me about it, and I totally agree with her, is strictly because I got nowhere else to put this junk.
Yeah.
See,
I
when
think,
we moved from our previous place, we had a big roach infestation. That is the
Oh,
sole reason why we
no.
moved from our previous place. So to make sure that there was no roaches that followed us, we got rid of every single piece of furniture that we had. So like portable cupboards that I made myself were thrown out.
Mhm. Aw.
My grandfather's rocking chair that I got to
No.
remember him, I had to throw out, even though it was only sitting in my place for 2 weeks.
Mhm.
That has a lot of sentimental value to me. To somebody else, it's just another brown rocking chair, but to me, it's, you know, a memorabilia of my grandfather,
Yeah.
whom was kind of a big person in my life.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of the reasons why I'm kind of stubborn in many ways.
Yeah.
Why I'm also that kind of person that is able to fix so many things is because I took the time
Yeah.
to fuck. As he basically puts it, the only reason why I know how to fix stuff is because I fucked up more than you.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how he worded it.
Mhm.
It's not the factor I
And
know
that's
how. I've just fucked up and had to fix my mistakes more times than
Yeah.
you realize.
Yeah, I think that's like a good way to put it too, because like we mentioned like a couple of times during the stream, it's like people need to fuck up so they can learn how to deal with their fuck ups,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you don't learn how to deal with your fuck ups, at some point in your life, you're never gonna learn how to fix the fuck up.
Yes, exactly.
Uh,
Like, take for example a lot of the electronics I know how to fix. It's only because I've fucked up more times than you.
yeah,
That's like,
exactly.
you know, the way that I'm looking at it with a lot of electronics is, okay, it's $50 for me to fix, or it's $500 for me to buy a new one. The problem is we're getting into this age where it's like, you're not allowed to fix it. You're not allowed to fuck up. Instead, the
Yeah.
only thing that you can do is buy a new one.
Mhm.
And we're getting into the society that that's okay. And I hate that mindset because it's like, okay, well, let's just say hypothetically we run out of resources. Then what?
Mhm.
And this
Yeah.
isn't something that could just be passed on to the next generation. No, we need to deal with this now. Batteries aren't recycled. They're not. They're tossed into an incinerator.
Oh, cats. Not real life cat, but my cats are apparently meowing at me. Meow. I think I might have And I might have lit up the entire area. What do you guys think? Also, it's been 3 hours, so yeah.
Nice.
I think we have successfully done a
I'm
lot of
gonna
things
fall.
actually. Hmm?
Damn, Shulker! Ow. Ow.
Oh, I did not do the whole thing. Ah, I missed a small spot. All right.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find elytras.
Mm-hmm.
At least one, so I could say we have one.
Yeah. I think one thing that could probably do to that could be a thing that could translate to like games, since it is a gaming channel. You're never gonna learn how to be the best of the best in your chosen game unless you have done the mistakes and known that it was your fault.
Or it's like, try something new. Don't try
Yeah.
and do something that's been done before.
Yeah. It's like oh, like one of the things is your main character might have something locked away in a different character completely that you could use to make that character even more powerful. Like, imagine a game that has building in it, and there's a mechanic that is in both characters or very similar to each other, that when you learn a different character, you can make your main character much more powerful, right? Like how apparently armor in Warframe can make your rally extremely OP, and it requires an Archon shard, right?
Yeah.
I didn't learn. I couldn't have learned that unless I tried to play an armor-based Warframe, and find out that armor-based Warframes with with damage reduction on top of that are some of the most powerful Warframes in the game.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like, try new things, man. You can't always be playing what's her face Widowmaker all the time, because there might be something in Ash that can help you be a better Widowmaker. You know?
Well, yeah, and to be completely fair, that's one of the reasons why I experiment a lot with many different Warframes. I try out different builds. And you may not end up seeing it with us, for example, that us trying it out. In fact, a couple times when I was playing Warframe last week, I was trying an entirely new build of Korra that I've never tried before. Because I'm just like, I wonder what this is going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know until you literally try it. You have nothing to lose but to try it.
I think best way to say it is, fucking around and finding out is not always a bad thing, because something you find out could add to your life or add to your hobby as well. Or hey, if you want to be a content creator, if you fuck up with one of your videos, you're not gonna do it again, are you?
I might by mistake.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's it. Oh damn.
I died
That's
from a
probably a
shulker.
good way to say it, because like we're content creators as well.
Look,
Because
whether you like
a lot
it or
of
not,
time,
content creators are going to make mistakes. It's just something that happens.
yeah. Hey, I think the big mistake that a lot of smaller creators like us do is we don't show the fucking the build. I mean, completely when it comes to incarnate weapons, because it's an extra step.
Look, that was just entirely my bad. I honestly just completely missed it.
Yeah. And that's definitely fine. I think yeah, that's like the best part about fucking up. I think another thing is, don't try to argue with someone who tells you you fucked up, because even if they are being a little rude, there might be genuine information on there, because sometimes your fuck up might actually be something you should fix, rather than something you could like you're just gonna argue with somebody about, right?
Yeah.
Especially if it's somebody who's your viewer, because the viewers actually do know what they want. It's
Well,
just that
another
they don't
thing
word
is
it
that
right.
sometimes what happens is you get some people that you do have to end up arguing with. So, for example,
Oh, yeah, that's
the
another
Korra
thing.
haters, the Yoreli haters, us as people that use them in ways that is not recommended by the meta community is one of the things that we do have to argue about.
Oh yeah, that's that. I will agree with that as well, because sometimes people want to just argue about something that like literally is not true, and it's literally just the person is bringing a toxic thing into your streams, and it's just like, all right, dude. Here's the thing. As the person who's showing you this that you're arguing with me about, I know better because I have tested it, and specifically, I have no use for meta. So, fuck off, you know? And one of the best ways to do it is actually to explain the situation, and if they continue being insulting, just fuck you, I'm out.
Yeah.
Because as soon as the insulting part comes out more than once, then you know it's not just a thing of like they don't know how to word it, it's more of a thing of like
You're just an
being rude.
asshole
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah. Those are the only ones I tend to say you probably shouldn't argue with, is the ones who are just trying to leg hump another creator on your stuff, when in actuality the creator is just doing something completely different to what you're doing.
Mhm.
It's just like be a good audience member and try to understand that like I'm not Nightmare Frame. I'm not Lazar. I'm not Nightmare Frame. I'm not Pupsker. I'm not Asmongold. Yes, they might have something that's valid, but it's not valid for the situation at hand, right?
Look, a lot of the times we try to end up doing something that's fun.
Yeah.
And while some people being insanely overpowered to the point where you don't have to really exist is fun, that's not exactly the same for, let's say, myself or Jenna.
Yeah. Okay. Now I think I might have done it. What do you think? Is this lit up equally to your liking?
I think so.
Yeah. All right. Oh, there's I saw a torch out there. I wonder if okay, no, that's the outside. The outside I don't care too much about. Yeah. My mission is complete, guys. I have filled in all the nooks and crannies with light.
Until I
And the
expand
light
the base
bringer.
again.
Yeah.
Which maybe sooner rather than later. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
I kind of have a little bit of an area that I'm kind of planning to build phase 4. But we're actually going to need to add a shit ton more blocks to bring it up to level 90.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll make use of some of the terracotta that's in my terracotta chest.
I think turning griefing off is a good idea for someone who's playing solo, but I tend to see it as like it shouldn't be necessary to do so. And it's like it shouldn't be deemed necessary to do a modification to your game that's technically a kind of cheating.
Yeah.
In order to make it bearable. And I know people love creepers, like I kind of do too, but they're annoying as hell.
Oh yeah.
There's ways to deal with them, but when you're playing alone, it's not as fun because there's no one to react to what happened. It's just you embarrassing the hell out of yourself in front of like strangers, right?
Well, and the other
Which is
aspect that I hate with creepers, what's the reason why my tunnels are so well lit is because I just honestly hate having a creeper fall on my head then explode.
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes you can hear them quite a while away, but there's other times that you just can't hear them. And the next thing you hear, or next thing you know, bang! You're dead
Yeah.
because a creeper killed you. and you lost everything.
Yeah. I think that's like the devastating part is actually just losing all your shit.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to go without keep inventory with griefing off, and I lost a couple things a couple of times.
Yeah.
And yes, it's funny to see it for a viewer, but I just don't want to lose my shit anymore.
Yeah,
So,
I'm with you.
And some people would say, "Oh, why not turn keep inventory on?" And I'm like, I don't think I want to bring myself to have to do that. Honestly, that's like the only reason. I don't want to have to cheat to remedy a problem that is in the game as a feature, you know?
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. In some ways, I can understand both sides. Keep inventory on is kind of useful, especially when you're like evil and just killing yourself because you're too lazy to grab a piece of chicken.
That's a classic.
That's happened many times, especially in the old seed before we set up the CFC. Goodbye,
Yeah.
cruel world, and it just falls at a great height.
Yeah. Or eaten by lava.
Mm-hmm. Like, I
Because
understand the
sometimes he
dying
just so
to get
happens to have
back.
lava on him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand the factor of dying to get back sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Ow. I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't play Subnautica is because I feel like Subnautica is also a thing that's kind of like that, where there's a lot of things that could just randomly happen to you. I don't like
It's a
that.
bit more of a programmed sort of place, depending on where you are.
Yeah, I know in Subnautica, you can lose your inventory if you die, but
Yeah.
it's not as bad as, it doesn't have like as bad as griefing.
No.
One of the things it does have that's kind of bad is, it's a water-based game, and I love water. It's just, it's also a horror game, and I don't like horror games.
That's actually a really good horror game, in my opinion. I streamed.
Oh yeah,
I
it's a very
streamed the
good
first
horror
one.
game. Yeah, very good horror game, but that's like the problem.
Yeah.
Don't. Yeah. I think
Right, I don't know what else to
legitimately
do right
that's
now.
like the only. Yeah. I think we could probably end it. Honestly, this has
Yeah.
been a good stream. Very chill. We've gotten some things off our chests, which is very nice. Which is what my therapist recommended as a thing. If you word it correctly, you can get anything off your chest and feel better.
Mm.
We did get a couple viewers. We got some stuff done. So yeah, it's been a very good day. And so I'm gonna lay out my plans for my stream. And it's gonna be essentially tomorrow. I'm gonna be playing Palia.
You're gonna try out
Because
Palia?
yeah.
All right.
And some people would be all like, "Why not play Monster Hunter?" It's because I have mods on it, and I don't want to get in trouble.
Well, I know
Because
recently
yeah.
Capcom has actually been banning streamers with mods.
Yes. I've seen streamers with mods still, but the thing is like they are all saying the same thing, is like they're doing it until they get banned, because their whole entire stream is built off of those.
Yeah.
So I understand it. So yeah, that's basically what it is. So I have mods. I'm not gonna say what my profile name is as well. But I don't want to lose my profile, because I'm one of those people who don't want to just go and make another profile. I'm just like, I'm not like that. So yeah, I will be playing Palia, and honestly, I feel like the reason why I mentioned Monster Hunter is because I want to go play some Monster Hunter, because I actually do enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's just I am more sexy than most characters, so there you go. But yeah, I will see you guys in your nightmares. And yeah, if you're watching my content, I know you're into it. Honey, honey. Good night.
As far as me, thank you so much for coming in. Hope to see you again next time. At present time, I do not know when my next stream is going to be. So easiest way is definitely look at the description. There should actually be a Discord link. For those of you on Twitch, it's actually on my page. And this is the most current Discord. So you should be able to find my schedule once I do create it. I do apologize for not actually having much of a schedule at present time. I'm still getting back into the swing of streaming and figuring out life and such. Being a father is kind of hard. But anyways, see you later.